If you ever experienced something in the paranormal realm, you were probably forced to contend with two possibilities. One, that you actually encountered something otherworldly, or two, that you might be losing your mind. Unless you chose to live in denial by brushing it off as your eyes playing tricks on you, it can be a deeply frightening and alienating experience. After all, will anyone believe you? Will they ridicule you for bringing it up? Or worse, will this presence continue to haunt you until you do in fact lose your mind? As you will see here, some places are swarming with that kind of activity. The presences that are felt there are so strong that you'll question reality and run screaming, searching for your lost sanity. The following places had lasting effects on people's mental well-being, so you might want to avoid them at all costs. But before we begin, please leave a like on this video. The more likes and comments we get, the farther this video reaches in the algorithm. Thank you for your support. Here are 10 terrifying places that will make you lose your mind. The Hoab Bashu Forest in Romania. Hoab Bashu sits in the depths of Transylvania and has been called the creepiest forest in the world. Within it, a place called the Clearing is a hotbed for the supernatural and paranormal. The trees stop in a uniform oval where nothing has ever grown, and several people who have entered it have gone mad. A local tour guide named Alex said that he once found 60 people from Bucharest trying to open a gate into another dimension. Today, visitors to the forest report symptoms of nausea, anxiety, and a feeling of being watched. Ghosts and shadowy figures are regularly seen, and even show up in tourist photographs. Alex said that the creepiest thing he's seen on the tour was a man who went crazy thinking he'd met a demon. He left to get a massive tattoo of a demon on his chest to ward off any future demonic encounters. The Ilchester Tunnel in Maryland. Located near the historic town of Ellicott City, this old railroad tunnel is known for the legend of the Blink Man. Legend has it that an old homeless blind man was hit and killed by an oncoming train in the early 1900s, and his spirit haunts the tunnel. Supposedly, if you stand on the tracks at 11 p.m. and stare into the tunnel for an entire hour without blinking, the Blink Man will appear. And every time you blink after he first appears to you, his ghost will get closer and closer until his eyelashes brush against your face like butterfly kisses. These are said to send you into complete madness, driving you to rip out your own eyes in a fit of rage. For safety reasons, the tunnel is off limits, but that doesn't stop the truly curious from trespassing. The Pennhurst Asylum in Spring City, Pennsylvania. A group of paranormal investigators spent 2 weeks in the asylum for a show called The World's Biggest Ghost Hunt. The TV show now claims to hold the record for the longest filmed paranormal investigation in television history, but one man was not able to go the distance. One night, mechanical engineer Austin George appeared to choke and keel over while yelling, "I feel like he's on my back." He got up and stumbled through the corridors, trying desperately to find an exit. One man yelled, "Call a medic," before he was carried out of the asylum by 2 others. While in operation, Pennhurst hosted more than 10,000 residents, mostly children. They were confined in the most brutal conditions, and many of them died there. There have been more than 100 documented paranormal encounters, and that all added up to what Austin George called his nervous breakdown. The Oki Gaha Forest in Japan. This forest, also known as the Sea of Trees, is a dense, dark, and mysterious forest located at the base of Mount Fuji. The forest is world famous for its history of people passing due to self-inflictions and its paranormal activity. Known as yurei, disturbed spirits resonate here with a possessive force. They don't want you to leave. For centuries, legend has it that they lure souls to this forest. The sick, agitated, and disturbed come here to end their lives early, even though there are many forests and suitable places much closer to their homes. Then, once they're inside, the dense forest and eerie atmosphere contributes to a feeling of despair. But the locals seem to be split on the reason why. Either the mad are inexplicably drawn to these woods, or the woods themselves actually drive people into madness. The Island of Poia. This Italian island, just outside of Venice, has been used as many things since the year 421. It's been a military base, a mental hospital, and plague quarantine, where experts say that anywhere from 100,000 to 160,000 people have passed. Today, locals call it the Island of Ghosts, and say it's riddled with unhealthy spirits. Visits to the island are prohibited since it's a collection of abandoned, decaying buildings. An old bell tower is all that remains of the old church of San Vitale. While it was a mental hospital in the 1930s, a cruel doctor who performed crude lobotomies jumped to his death from a bell tower after claiming he'd been driven mad by ghosts. Nearby residents claimed to hear the bell, even though it was removed many years earlier. But no one dares visit the bell tower. This is because they fear that they too will have been driven mad. The Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. This lavish Victorian-era mansion contains a labyrinth of strange rooms and corridors. It's 24,000 square foot, and its 160 rooms are seemingly built without reason. Doors open onto walls, there are windows in the floor, and staircases that lead to nowhere. It was built by Sarah Winchester, heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune, and she was said to be cursed by every victim of those rifles. In 1881, Sarah lost her husband William and was completely devastated. She contacted him through a medium, Adam Coombs, who told her to build the house to attract good spirits. If she ever stopped building, the curse would get her, so she continuously built onto it for 38 years. It's said that the house made her more and more insane over those years. She slept in a different room every night to elude evil spirits, and she believed that her moments of inspiration were good spirits telling her to build. The Devil's Toy Box in Louisiana. Near the town of Leesville, Louisiana, is a haunted house attraction called the Farmer's Grave Haunted Orchard. In 2014, owners Will and Darlene Sawyer built a new attraction that instantly intrigued everyone. It appears as nothing more than a rundown shack, but by putting in floor-to-wall mirrors, it somehow makes people go completely insane. The average person can only last a minute or two before symptoms like nausea, trembling, muscle pain, hallucinations, and seizures set in. One woman had a heart attack after only 90 seconds, and a 17-year-old boy was dragged out kicking and screaming. Weeks later, he reportedly ended his own life. The longest stint was 4 minutes and 37 seconds, set by 52-year-old father of 3 Roger Heltz. However, afterwards, he became a vegetative mute after his experience. The owners were since forced to shut it down, but Will Sawyer has been seen letting brave souls give it a try. The Bell Witch in Red River, Tennessee. In 1817, in what is now Adams, Tennessee, a farmer named John Bell was being psychologically and even physically tormented by an evil presence later referred to as the Bell Witch. One night, he came across a strange dog-like animal that looked like nothing he'd ever seen. Afraid, he shot at it but missed, and this is where it's said that it all began. Soon after, his family heard rats gnawing, dogs barking, chains dragging, and even a woman's voice. For some reason, she hated John Bell. She was kind to his wife Lucy and their 6 children, but John was tormented until he became sick and frail. On his deathbed, the doctor heard her cry, "It's useless for you to try to relieve old Jack. I have got him this time. He will never get up from that bed again." John Bell died the next day. You can actually visit Bell's house today. Just try not to displease the witch. The Black Forest in Germany. The creepiest of stories about the Black Forest have been handed down through the generations, and its chilling tales have dark tourists flocking daily. With several legends of witches, it's easy to see why the famous Brothers Grimm used it as their setting for Rapunzel, Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty. It's said that its labyrinth-like landscape makes it easy for hikers to get lost, and serves as a purgatory for wandering souls. Countless people have reported aimless apparitions, and many report feelings of unease and dread. If you intend to visit the Black Forest, don't stay in it for too long. Even the most mentally healthy people have experienced deep bouts of depression and have even committed acts of self-harm. The Enfield Poltergeist in North London. In August of 1977, Peggy Hodgson, a single mother of 4, reported a strange knocking. After the police arrived, one of them saw a chair move on its own. In the following months, furniture was hurled across the rooms. The family heard paranormal whistling, and the most unsettling of all, 11-year-old Janet Hodgson appeared to be possessed by the spirit of a man. Psychiatric experts arrived and were horrified. They took photographs of beds flipping and even snapped one of Janet floating through the air screaming. The events had young Janet spend time in a psychiatric hospital where she said she only ever felt its presence in that home. Decades later, she said, "You never really feel completely yourself. What is myself, you know? It's something you never forget. You never feel like you're free from it. I don't know what to say to this, but I feel it even now. It's never left me." Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, again, please leave a like and a comment, and share it if you really enjoyed it. If you'd like to watch more, there's some clickable links on the screen that you can tap right now, and of course, follow me on all my socials. Links are in the description. I will see you next time.